everyone, it is Miss G. So today I want to discuss what it looks like when you go to therapy for the first time. I've had a lot of clients that are kind of anxious and worried about what that may entail. And I've had some people ask me, what do I need to do? What do I need to bring? And all that. So I'll try to break it down a little bit for you. Your first session is usually your intake session. So what that means is we are, as clinicians, we're trying to gather as much information as possible so we know why you're there and how to help you. In the intake session, we're going to be looking for information about your medical history. Do you have anything going on physically? Do you have high blood pressure? Do you have diabetes? Do you have thyroid issues going on? Everything plays together. Our whole body is a system. So if these parts are going out of whack, it's going to mess up here and vice versa. So we also want to know medications. It doesn't have to be just brain meds for anxiety or depression. It can be for anything. So have a list of your meds and dosage and how often you have to take them. Trauma timeline is a big one. You don't have to go in depth because obviously it's just your intake appointment. You haven't decided if you really like this person or not. So be able to kind of communicate, yes, we had a death recently or a divorce or things like that. And just skim across the top so they can have it in their notes, because whatever you share helps more for your treatment. Explain any substance use, either now or in the past, any legal issues that may be going on. What social support systems do you have? How is your family relationships? Do they support you? Are they stressing you out? Who are you living with? When you get kind of those basic information gathering pieces, then it comes to, what do you want? What are you looking for in therapy? Why are you going? Therapy is scary. A lot of people don't want to open up. You're telling somebody else all of your negative coping skills and stress and traumas, and wow. Why would I share that with anybody when I've been stuffing it in a box and I think I'm doing okay? I'm handling things. No one wants to do that. So when you go in there, just kind of be prepared to say the minimal things. And then if you feel comfortable, then you can kind of reel back and go more and more. The next step, besides in the intake process, is your treatment plan and your goals. So this is the part where you decide, what do you want and how is that going to look like? What are the steps? Most of the time, clinicians will create their own treatment goals for clients, but I'm a big believer that this is your therapy, this is your growth process. So speak up. This is what I need, this is what I need to look like, and how I need to look like. Interview your therapist. If you've never done this before, I don't want you to feel like you have to stick with the first person you go to. No way, Jose. It has to be a good fit. You have to feel comfortable enough with this person to be vulnerable. And if they don't meet your needs, then find somebody else and, shop around. I've had clients come in there with a set of questions for me to see if I will match what they need in life. And I love that. What most people don't realize is clinicians all come from a different modality. So that means a style of therapy, right? So we're not all made equal. We don't come in and cookie cutter box and we all do therapy the exact same way. No way. We have the more stoic ones, the ones that are just going to be rigid and step back, and that's fine. That's their method. You have some that are more like me, more expressionistic and in your face and lots of art and things like that. Everyone needs a different kind of therapist for where you're at, your personality, your goals, and you don't know until you actually talk to that person. Feel comfortable. When it comes to kids and teens, it is not easy to find a good clinician because most people don't have the skills to work with littles. Kids are challenging and they will call you out like this. So if as a parent, remember to be open with your child and ask them, how do you feel about this session? What do you feel about this person? Or do they scare you? Do they bother you? If your kid is stressed out after their therapy session or upset or crying, maybe it's not a good fit. You may like the therapist, but your kiddo doesn't. So they may need somebody else. I have to explain a lot to parents that therapy for children is not the same as therapy for adults. Adults, we can do this sitting on the couch thing and have conversations for hours and hours, whatever. Kids, no. Their development is different. The way they process is different. How they communicate emotions is not the same. So it may take a little longer to dive into those deep, heavy pieces. Patience is a virtue, I promise you. The kids will open up. But at the same time, find somebody that knows what they're doing. Anybody could say, I work with kids, but they may really not have the skill. Kind of piggybacking off of that, LMFTs, so licensed marriage and family therapists, LPCs, licensed practical counselors, yes, and LCSWs, social workers, we can all do pretty much the same thing. What makes us different is our specialties, what we like, what our niches, what we go and get more training for. So I would suggest doing a lot of homework on the person that you're going to go see for the first time. And do they match what you're looking for? The last piece I'll kind of bring up is I've had some kind of clients come in and say, hey, can you write me a prescription? No, I can't. If the person you're going to see is not a psychiatrist, then they cannot provide medication. Only psychiatrists can get that prescription because they went to medical school. You have to be a medical doctor to prescribe medication. So that would be a psychiatrist or even a psychiatric nurse practitioner because they work under them. They're just as fabulous, and there's more of them than there are psychiatrists, and they're a little more down to earth, but they're all wonderful in their own ways. So that's kind of the difference, and that's a little bit of what you may need to know on your first session. If you have any questions or concerns or comments or write me, leave me a message, send a comment, and I'll do my best to answer it. Therapy's scary, but if you feel like you need it, you feel like you need somebody to talk to besides your family or your friends, that's not a biased person, don't be afraid. All right, guys, have a great day.